I see people doing podcasts and keeping videos on them. I can't do it because I just think I'm fucking ugly. Plus, I haven't shaved in a while. So. Plus, my teeth aren't. Okay, dogs. So, start off, this is not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. Anything here is just strictly for my entertainment only. Do not take my advice. Go do it. Do your own research. Or listen to a podcast from a guy called Retire on Dividend. All about yield max, ETFs, and leverage accounts, and beautiful, beautiful things like MSTY that follow MSTR, Mr. Strategy, Bitcoin. Woo! So they just had their declaration, and I'm not going to go back to the beginning of what Misty is. I'm going to assume that if you show up, you know what Misty is. They just declared a dividend of $1.47, which is a nice change from, I had a guess of 115. So 147 is nice with our what do we have, 675, 650 something shares. That'll put our payout right around 900, 950, 9.5. That is an extra paycheck this month. That is nice. That is just a little bit bigger than what my usual paycheck is. So if I get 4 of those a month from my work, I got 1 of those from my passive income, which means the money I'm not using right now is making me money passively while I sleep, while I eat, while I walk my dogs. My ETFs are making me money right now. That is, and so far this month, it is going to make me 1 extra paycheck. So, however you extrapolate that, that is 1 more step to my goal of having a passive income funded retirement. Understanding I will not be able to get 100% retired on 2 Advance 54. This is our first account unless things keep going very swimmingly for the next 5 to 10 years. I honestly estimate we're gonna get maybe, I don't know, 60 grand a year. I'd be happy with that. That'll pay a mortgage, that'll pay a bill, that'll pay a car payment. That's what these are gonna be for. But I don't want to get too close to the road because then they might take off after the car. But I won't talk about the dogs, not my ETOs. But we are very happy with the $1.47 a payout per share. That does us very nicely. I do remember when they were $3 a share. That was our first dividend that we paid in, that we bought Misty with. It was a $3 dividend. So we had that for what, a month and a half, and then we sold it and went into PLTY, Lady Posse. What's up? Yeah, bitches. Oh. But yeah, 950 just from having my money sit, do nothing. That's not bad. I'll be all right with that. You know, like I told my wife when she was not arguing, but kind of dismissing the fact that I wanted to put more and more money into our account. I told her this is better than the bank. I'm getting 90% return of an annual yield from MSTY. You will not be able to touch that with a bank. A bank can't touch it, and nobody can touch it. The 401k that you're invested in your work definitely will not touch this. It is a high yielding, high options, a high leverage ETF. That's what they are. You got to understand, I guess, the basic thing that I took from going, and now my head's going in 14 different directions. Let's talk about the QILDs. Let's talk about JEPI. Let's talk about SCHDs. Let's talk about growth versus income, what the difference is. What do you want to achieve? How much risk can you stomach? I'll be honest, if what was it, last year, all throughout the end of 2024, I was heavily invested into quantum computing. I had the D waves, I had the ion Qs, I had the qubits, I had the Rigetti computers. Um, those were my top four holdings at the time. And then Jensen Huang came around and said that quantum computing is 30 years away is quite a lot, and I think 15 years is too soon. I dropped 85% that week. That was my stomach dropping out of my feet. I did not know what to do. My $45,000 account dropped to 28,000 in 3 weeks. Oh, I'm not laughing at you guys. Well, my dog. But yeah, I couldn't stomach that. I couldn't anymore. I had to get out of the quantum computing. I did not see how there was a way for it to come back after a person of such stature of a Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of NVIDIA. He is NVIDIA. Much like when GM gets a cold, so does America. When Jensen Huang and NVIDIA talk, people listen. Oh, what was it? E.F. Hutton. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Yeah, I couldn't stomach that, and that's part of the risk. That's part of trading stocks. So I bailed. I bailed at my 28 grand. I lost, what, 15, 17 grand. And I stepped back. I sold everything and said, okay, I'm done. I gotta find something new. I can't continue swapping stocks like that. Reminds me of Michael Scott, Snap. And that is where we found YieldMax. It was on, one of my stock. Boys, come on, let's go. Porcupines like to live in a wet, oh my God, English, please. Wet wood. So I'm sitting here babbling about finances. I'm not watching what the dogs are doing. That is a $300 vet bill if they get one quill in their snout, or if they get a whole snout full of quills from a porcupine. That is a $300 vet bill right from the beginning, right when you walk through the door. Please deposit $300. Do not pass go. Go directly to the operating room. Yeah, they're expensive bastards. Oh my God, I love these guys though. They're so fun. I wouldn't know what to do if it weren't for these boys. Otherwise, I'd still be home getting high. It's my day off, second day off today, Wednesday. It is 55 degrees. We're gonna go back to Stockton in a second. But these are not clouds. This is smoke coming down from Canada. All the wildfires up there are blanketing the northern Michigan, so we have nothing but smoky. Smells like a wood stove. I thought I heard somebody coming on the trail. But yeah, we took, what is it, June now? It's taken 6 months going back to the ETFs. It's taken 6 months to get back to, I think we just passed 40 grand yesterday, 2 days ago. Recently, within the week, we just passed 40 grand again. Yeah, 6 months. For one guy that said one paragraph, and it dropped me 12 grand. It's just, you gotta understand that shit happens all the frickin' time. Goodness. And you gotta be able to hang on. If I were to hang on, I'd looked at, here comes a plane. Woo! Don't know if we're gonna be able to see it because of the fog. But how's the UP today? UP is on fire pretty quick, I'm gonna say. They are getting really, really dry. Barely see them. That's how low that smoke is. That's how heavy that smoke is too. JC, how's the UP today? I'd love to be in the UP today. That'd be awesome. I love the UP. That'd be so much fun. We are a half hour south of the UP. We have a coworker that goes up to the UP almost on every other daily basis, just to get away from all the craziness that is Lower Peninsula. But back to the ETFs, man. Misty and Pleiadi. Pleiadi is 3 times the stock price of Misty. Misty is at 21, I think. Pleiadi's at 64, 65. Misty gave out $1.47 declaration today, and they're both monthly payers. PLTY follows Palantir, PLTR. Software, defense, AI. Right now the government loves them. That's great. Good for us, because that's our second largest holding is PLTY. He's looking back for some reason. He doesn't look back unless there's something back there. There we go. So last month, dividend of $7 and something cents. I can't remember how many. Yeah, $7 stock from Pleiadi, $7 dividend from Pleiadi, versus $1 dividend from $1.50 from Misty. So I mean, crude math, 3 times it. So you take $1.50 times 3 is what? $4.50. 450. You take that Palantir at 7. I mean, I may not be a math genius, but it still seems to me that Palantir Pleiadi is given a bigger yield than Misty. Now, granted, for a while, Misty was the GOAT, the greatest of all time. They did give out huge dividends. They earned their money. They paid you for letting them use your money. It was, it looked very nice back then when it was $4 share prices. Now we're down to $1.50, you know? And Palantir, yes, last month was not an abomination, but just not putting my snaps together. It was unusual to have a $7 share price on a $60 share, $7 dividend on a $60 share. That's pretty high. We don't think this time it's going to be $7. They declare 2 more weeks. Misty's this week. We have nothing next week, and then the week after that is Pleiadi. So every other week, I am getting at least 1 paycheck from my stocks. Hey, that's not bad. So I'm getting 2 extra paychecks a month. That's pretty goddamn good. And that just shows there's so many different facets to finances. There's so many different things that you've never even thought of. I never, just not walking, talking bullshit. And that's why I love doing this, because I get to hear myself talk, and it makes more sense, I guess. And plus my dogs are here, so they like to learn new things too. And they can't tell me I'm wrong. But yeah, if I'm getting 2 paychecks, if I'm getting 6 paychecks a week, 4 from work, 2 from my passive income, man, that's nice. We have a smaller IRA account that my wife has. She has. And full disclosure, my wife does have a piece of paper on the wall. She's got a couple of pieces of paper on the wall that says she knows how to study well and how to take tests pretty good. So that little piece of the paper entitled her to a pretty good compensation package from her place of work, which is very nice. It has given her throughout her years more than 2, less than 10 different retirement accounts over the 3 or 4 different places she worked in her more than 30, less than 100 years of working. My wife robbed the credit with me. She's older than me by 2 years. So she's had 4 jobs since we've been together, and all 4 of them have been really, really nice compensated jobs. She's always gone from one higher up to another one, so it's always been a jump ahead. So I'm trying to convince her to take the smallest account, take the penalty through the government, because of course the SEC has to have their little bit. And if you listen to Retire on Dividends, he will tell you that the 401k is not. He won't tell you. Let me say that I think I've heard on his channel, I won't go concrete, that the 401k is bad because there are penalties and it's your money. Why are you paying a penalty for getting your money? It's making other people rich. So, missing a dog. I got black. Where's white? So if you're paying somebody else to do a job that you could be doing with a little bit of research, a little bit of study, a little bit of homework, there it is. I'd rather pay myself, honestly. And I'll tell you, I watch that guy Retire on Dividends. I watch him religiously on a daily basis. It may not be a live show that I watch at 6:30. I may catch it later on in the afternoon when I'm home from work or whatever, but I'm always very rare that I miss one. Much because, like Palantir and Bitcoin, I believe in those things. In Retire on Dividends, I believe what he's saying. Everything he says is, well, let me go back. This kind of sounds like worship. It's not a worship. He talks in a regular, like I'm doing now. I understand what the hell he's saying. He's patient, which is nice. You get some questions, the usual questions. Why does the stock drop on X day, and why does the IV low, and whatever, Yeah, and he stops and answers every one of these questions. It's refreshing to see somebody that is a financial person giving out such good advice without being condescending. It's always, he's happy to answer any question. If he doesn't understand the question, he will say, I don't understand the question. If you're there, please give me more context. It's easy to understand, just like Robert Kiyosaki. They communicate in an easy language to understand. I want to talk down to earth so that everybody here can, who was that? JFK. Everybody here can easily understand. What song is that? Go, Living Color. The Cult of Personality. Mac. So I watched that guy religiously. He is a good source of information. And if there's one hitch that I'm watching and I don't understand, I'll stop and then go out and figure out what the hell he's talking about. I do that a lot when he's talking about his options, because I learn in a different sort of way than most people. I have to watch for quite a while, and then once I understand a fundamental, if that makes sense, then I'm fully, I want to learn it all. I want to learn it now. I want it all. I want it now. What the hell are you doing in there? Whoa! What the hell are you doing? Wah! Jesus Christ. What the hell is your deal? Mac? What's up, buddy? I don't like him jumping like that. There. What are you doing? Because he's not. Get him. Get him. Okay, they're just getting their run on. They're getting their zoomies going for the day. Oh, this is the best when to get their zoomies. This means you're going to be a little bit. I'm tired this afternoon. We're going home. That'd be good. But yeah, it's. And the best part about it is, it's free. He doesn't charge anything. Even his Discord is free. He gives you his spreadsheets so you can do your own calculations. Who does that? Everybody has their own finance or their own Discord or their own whatever, private paid Patreon, something you got to pay for. You know what he charges? Zero. He charged me $20 for a coffee insulated thermos to go cup that I take on a daily basis. That is how I pay. That's how I say thank you. I bought a shitty truck I have for $20. That is my way of saying thank you. You know, it's I love that channel. It's so much fun to watch. You know the people that are in there. One of his followers' screen name is Thoreau. I'm gonna assume as the author. And this guy is Jesus, beyond smart. But I mean, it's fun to read the comments they have. It's fun to try and follow the comments, understanding, comprehending what they're talking about. And it's a great channel that gives great advice, in my opinion, for a great set of stocks from Yield Mix. He had on, Retire on Dividend had on the two fund managers for MSTY, and this is last month, 2 months ago. Just watching that video, that interview for, I think it was an hour and a half, so informative. Good God, they gave you the why they did things, which you don't get. People don't want you to know why. They just want you to fork over your money and you just accept what I'm going to give you. No, because it's my money. I want a handle on my money. And when you're looking at somebody doing trading for you, in my opinion, I would rather have them trade for me because I don't know how to do options yet. You know, I got a brief little, I might be able to do it. I don't think I will. So since I still have that little bit of, where's that word, little Kim. I can't say little, L-I-L. But since Scott and Jay will do the option trading for me, they know options a hell of a lot better than I do. Okay, here's my money. Go do it. You've done great so far. I have no reason to expect you won't continue. Yeah, and that 2 paychecks a month. That's pretty good just for having money that we don't need yet. That is not in use, that we just have sitting in a bank account. I'd rather have it make 98% yield annually over what's the bank charge paying you for interest? 0.005% interest. It's your money. Dare you to go into a bank and ask them to get a loan and ask them to charge you 0.005% interest on that loan. They'll laugh you out of the fucking bank. You're not getting out of that bank without paying, Jesus, 8-10%. Let's not talk about mortgages. Holy Jesus Christ. But yeah, I'd rather take my money, invest it, or have it invested by somebody I know, somebody I trust, somebody I trust, as I said before, faith, and get a 98% yield. Jesus. And I'm using the 98% as I haven't done the yield for today, or this month's declaration. But yeah, we're happy. Jesus, $950 for a month. That's all right. And that's still growing. That's going to buy us another 20 shares, which is going to get us another, what, 12 bucks? 40. Okay. Yeah, that's drip, man. Drip, drip, drip. Dividend reinvestment plan. Holy cow. That will get you rich quicker than anything. Compounded interest. There's absolutely nothing like that. Except for a Jeep and a Badland winch. I gotta get that steel line out of here, and I got a synthetic rope in the house I gotta put on. But that involves taking this off, taking that off, taking this off. I have to take this off because I have to get behind here and take these off so I can get into here, and there's a little bolt in here holding shit on. Actually, it's right there. You can see it. That's where I'm going to attach the synthetic rope to. But yeah, one deer, a Chevy, 2 deer, and I got a Subaru sticker right there. Yeah, my Chinese bumper loves hitting cars. Stop, collaborate, and listen. If you know what that is, give me your address. I'll send you a bear hide. Whoa. Looks like we're not done having the... Yeah, we are. They're wet. They're done. All right, folks. You and my 0 viewers. Let's go home. Let's go home, boys.